Hey guys, it's Caden. Welcome to another Autism Digest interview, where today we have yet another wrestler with us. He's wrestled alongside greats such as CM Punk and my personal favorite wrestler, Chris Benoit, and he now uses his wrestling persona to help navigate the real estate market. He is the amazing Kevin Thorn. Thanks for coming on, Kevin.
Hey guys, thanks for having me, Caden. Looking forward to this interview and looking forward to chatting it up here.
I am too. I think a lot of people definitely recognize you from your WWE days, especially if they've seen the house shows with you and Chris. But for those that may not know you, do you mind telling a bit of your story in your own words?
My real name's Kevin Fertig. I had the privilege of wrestling in WWE under the personas of Mordecai and Kevin Thorn. Through a lot of great years of wrestling and stuff like that, I decided it was a better time for me to kind of leave the scene of wrestling, even though I still do it for benefits and stuff like that. And I got into real estate, selling houses here in the great state of Indiana and in the Indianapolis metro area and around.
That's awesome. And as I told you before we started recording, using your persona to market real estate is a very unique approach, and the belts you have there are really nice touch, which leads to my next question. Do you have any experiences interacting with the autism community that you want to talk about?
Yeah, have several friends, with children that have autism, different scales of spectrum, stuff like that. One of my really good friends who I used to wrestle with, Matt Morgan, his son is autistic and stuff. And for me, it's just a great experience because you get the real nature of the person, and it's just always a great conversation. Always a genuine friendship, and it's just fun to be around.
I absolutely agree. I've interviewed several autistic individuals on this platform, and they've all been really amazing to be around and talk to, which leads to my next question for you. How do you think wrestling promotions, big or small, could do better at normalizing conversations around mental health and neurodiversity?
Man, I think it would be great. I think mental health, substance abuse, stuff like that is very, very prevalent in the wrestling business. It has been for a lot of years. It definitely, I think we need to bring out as a community. It's okay being not okay sometimes. And being comfortable being uncomfortable. I think it's definitely something to be talked about, to be looked about. Years ago, with anything, hell, whether be autism, be substance abuse, mental health, stuff like that. I think people didn't know how to, didn't want to talk about it. It was always, oh, just be a man, just be this, be that. I think now we're really learning as individuals and people that, these things can be discussed. I mean, we're 31 flavors. Some people may be chocolate, some people may be vanilla, some people may have sprinkles, some people may have this, but at the end of the day, we're all people, and we're all ice cream. So it's one of those things of we need to figure out ways to help each other out.
I absolutely agree, and I think the ice cream metaphor is definitely a good one, because we're all different in our own ways, and that's not a bad thing.
No.
Hey, we just need to learn to be more empathetic towards one another. That's why we have platforms like this where we're open with one another. My next question for it is for autistic adults navigating independent living, what are some practical steps you recommend to make the real estate process less stressful?
I think getting, with a realtor, and trust, that's going to be able to walk you through it. There's several aspects of getting in a house buying process and stuff like that is, you're going to have to get with a lender. The realtor navigates the house problem, or the house, as far as the offer, the inspections, getting with the title company, getting to closing. But you also, need a good lender too, that's going to, be a part of the financing process and stuff like that. And unless you've done it, I mean, everybody's brand new at this. Whether you're, autistic, you're not autistic. Everybody, if you've ever bought a house before, you're starting at ground zero. So taking that, and a lot of what I do with my new home buyers and stuff like that is walk them through the process. No matter how fast or how slow, it doesn't matter. And really taking my time and answering the questions that need to be answered to make sure that they're making the best decision of their life.
Yeah, and that's a really good approach. My parents are working on selling a house soon, and they've been through the real estate process several times. So I would like to definitely asking for advice from people who've been through the real estate process is a really great approach to navigating this market, which transitions beautifully into the next question. How can real estate professionals better educate themselves to avoid unintentionally creating barriers for autistic clients?
Um, I mean, I think just learning, with anything, I think, you can't build a barrier and say you're not going to work with a certain group of individuals. Go and be a part of that group, learn as much as you can, about things, and kind of go that route. I mean, you could have a client that's really sensitive to light, sensitive to touch, sensitive to some things. So you need to make notes of that so you don't make anything uncomfortable. And I think that's probably the best way to go about it.
I absolutely agree with that. And I think to add to it a bit, I feel like the builders, if the house is getting custom made, which one of the houses I've lived in during my 21 years on this earth was, they should consider those sensitivities as well. For example, they should consult with the autistic individual buying a house about what they might be sensitive to and what adjustments would be best suited for them. I think, like you said, it's all about educating and learning. My last question for you is, apart from the real estate business, do you have anything you want to promote?
Uh, well, I mean, if anybody's here, the Indianapolis market, definitely love to talk to you, if you're looking for a house. And you can find me at thechampishome.com. Instagram, I'm easy to follow. It's the Kevin Fertig. Twitter is the Kevin Fertig, and then on Facebook it's Kevin Fertig Realty. Those are kind of my main go-tos. And stuff. I like to post a lot of funny videos, stuff like that, and just kind of show the character, and use my past experiences in the wrestling business, and just past experiences of life to kind of show people what they're actually getting. So when they do go out and look at a house with me, or whatever else, they've got a pretty good flavor of what I do and what I'm about.
And like I said, it's a great approach to marketing in today's market. Anyways, that's going to do it for some of you guys. Thank you so much to Kevin for coming on and sharing his perspectives. If you guys want to see more amazing interviews, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the Autism Digest channel. Be on the lookout for our next issue that comes out in a couple days. You can get that by going to autismdigest.com, and be on the lookout for the audio file of this interview to be posted on our Spotify. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.